but you get quality from quantity. If you have limited resources, you try to maximize those limited resources. Like if you don't even know if the product works, anything hard to source, even in the drop shipping world, where like a drop shipper would just, I don't want to find a supplier. I don't want to find like a manufacturer over here. I want to take that on because I can, and I know it'll be a lot easier to scale because of that moat and of that barrier to entry.
True. So are you posting these all on the same page, or is this collectively, like, between influencers, like you said, UGC creators, like maybe affiliate creators, and then your main brand page?
Yeah, so on the inbound side, they're just posting them either on the influencer pages, the content creator pages. Sometimes we'll use Billo, all these. They're posting it on themselves, and then on the actual brand page, we're posting them on like the brand. So yeah, like we're posting them all every single day.
Crazy. That's such a big amount of content to be posting, but it makes sense, man. And it sounds like it's not just quantity, but it's also quality. So you're doing quality and quantity.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but you get quality from quantity.
Yeah.
Like you can't get quality if you don't have the volume, if you don't have the feedback loop. So it's like the only way to do that is just bump up the scale, and it hurts in the beginning because it's like expensive, to get someone to make 10 videos, 15 videos a day. Like that's not cheap. But you need that so you can put yourself in that feedback loop and you're like, oh wow, this works really well, you know.
So would you say then, like, what is an actionable step for someone that's just starting that doesn't have that money? Would it be just to create that feedback loop themselves? Like, I mean, everybody has a phone.
Yeah, no, 100%. We created the feedback loops ourselves. So Margarita and I, my business partner, which she's the real brains behind the operation. I'm just a pretty face, but she she went ahead and started making like 5, 6 TikToks a day, and then we saw like massive increase in performance. And then one day we were just like, you know what? What if we just take the next month to do 10 TikToks a day? And that's what we did. So we did that until we could find someone to replace us, and that's how we created that feedback loop. And now every single content creator that we have must make 10 TikToks per day.
Wow, that's your standard, but that's so powerful, man. Let me ask you this then: when you began to do that, had you tested that? Like, how did you commit to that product? Did you test it first, or were you just like, fuck it, like this is a winner? I know, let's just start making content because it's free.
So I'll be transparent as possible. So I actually did not like the product. My business partner Margarita found the product and she's like, "Hey, we should test this." I'm like, we'll skip over it. It was like product 189.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so we tested it and immediately it just caught on fire, on a general store.
With
And we
ads, or
were,
was it content?
yeah, with ads.
Oh, okay.
And we were initially, to be transparent, we were stealing content. We were literally ripping people's content from influencers, everything. Like, and I share my story because that's the truth, like I don't want to deceive anyone. Anyways,
Love
so
that.
we were stealing content. We were using that content from other brands and whatever, and we were posting it on our general store, and it just lit on fire. So we did our first 500,000 month on a general store, and then what happened is everyone started catching on that we were, using everyone's content, and our domain on TikTok actually got blacklisted. So what that means is like anytime we ran that domain, the ad account would go down. And we were like, oh, we are toasted. We don't know what to do. So that's when we were like, you know what? We've never done a one product store. We've never, moved a product from a general store to a brand. Let's do it. I feel like we have the experience. We have the confidence. We have a little bit more resources now. Let's do it. So that's when we took the product. We built an entire store around that product. And that's what became the brand that is today. But then that brand started with fresh, new content, and we've never stolen a piece of content for that brand.
Wow, I love you for sharing that because it's really relatable. Like, literally, I think everybody that's ever tested a product has probably taken content for testing purposes at one point or another. Obviously, it's not ethical, but when you're struggling, like, you got to do what you got to do, like, to test. You got to move fast, like you're saying.
Yeah. And I tell everyone, it's like if you have limited resources, you try to maximize those limited resources. Like you're not going to spend money on content if you don't even know if the product works. You know, it was just like one specific video that was just blowing up, and we used it, and the influencer got so pissed. And then that's when the domain got listed. But like we just got to do what we got to do and make some money. But then after it's like, all right, let's go legit. Let's get our own content. Why not recreate the viral content that already worked for the general store under the branded store?
Right. Like theoretically that should work better, and it did. So that's incredible, dude. That's such a cool story. So I'm wondering now, because this is one of the my favorite things about dropshipping is like this scrappiness that it gives you, especially when you learn about ecom brands like Allbirds or other like venture backed brands that just like
Mhm.
don't know how to be profitable, and they end up like crashing and burning. So I love that scrappiness. Do you have plans in the future? Like you said, you want to acquire brands. Are you still going to keep testing products, or are you just probably at this point going to just focus on this and acquire stuff later?
We'll see, to be honest. Like, there's a lot of products that we come across and even just get offered to us, being in the position we're in to test and to launch. But we'll see what happens. I don't think we'll have the biggest lever testing products,
Mhm.
but maybe products that are already patented, inventor-led products, founders that have products that they've struggled with that problem and they made it themselves. Like those are the type of products we want to go ahead and like brand and acquire, and then end up scaling. But maybe not like maybe not testing products. No.
Yeah, no, that makes so much sense. Like what you just said, if you like basically products with a barrier to entry, right? Like products that not just like a your average drop shipper could go ahead and test.
And yeah, those are my favorite products. Anything with with a patent or like some type of moat, like literally, like you said, like a barrier to entry. I love those products. Anything hard to source, even in the drop shipping world, where like a drop shipper would just, I don't want to find a supplier. I don't want to find like a manufacturer over here. I want to take that on
Right.
because I can, and I know it'll be a lot easier to scale because of that moat and of that barrier to entry.
True.